Hi, I'm Bryce Olson, and I've got a message for my brothers out there who are battling metastatic advanced prostate cancer, who may be running out of options. So check this out. So I am also an advanced metastatic prostate cancer patient. I got diagnosed back in 2014, 8.5 years ago. I have really bad genomics, which just means that my cancer is like really aggressive. And we can see that when we do genomic profiling of my cancer. If I would have just depended on the one-size-fits-all standard of care drugs that oncologists prescribe to us, I would have died years ago. So I got really lucky. I work in the tech sector. I got exposed to genomics, guided precision medicine, because I was at that intersection between cutting edge science and cutting edge technology. I learned about this back in 2014. I demanded sequencing for my own cancer, and it opened up all kinds of doors. I've been able to shut down the cancer a couple different times with drugs that I've been on that I would have never gotten access to otherwise. And I started this movement, Sequence Me, to help other patients do what I did and learn about the power of profiling your cancer at a genomic level. You can go to sequenceme.org if you want to read more about that. But anyway, so that is, flash forward to today. I've been on 13 lines of therapy, 13 different drugs over the last 8.5 years. But it's this 13th drug that I need to tell you about because it's revolutionary. And especially for you guys that are running out of options and getting desperate, pay attention to this, okay? So I know this is gonna sound crazy, but I was able to reverse the biology, the evolutionary biology of my cancer due to a drug, because of a drug. I was able to reverse it to a less lethal state. And in doing so, I've been able to resensitize it to drugs that I've already taken, okay? So what is this magical drug that I'm here to talk to you about? You're not gonna believe this. It's testosterone. Testosterone, right? The boogeyman. It's the hormone that all of us try to get rid of when we get diagnosed with advanced prostate cancer. It's what we take Lupron and Eligard for to get rid of it, right? Because prostate cancer feeds off of testosterone. That's how it proliferates and it grows. So, giving somebody like us testosterone as a drug, that seems crazy. That would be like pouring gasoline on a fire, right? That's just insane. But what if too much of a bad thing was actually good, right? What if your biggest adversary could actually be your ally? Before I got on this, I was in dire straits. I was on a fast track to the cemetery, honestly. I had cancer all over the place, and I was starting to get really, really sick, and I didn't think I was gonna get out of 2022. I knew that Johns Hopkins was testing out this new novel therapy idea called BAT, bipolar androgen therapy. Okay, bipolar for alternating between high levels of testosterone and low levels of testosterone when they give it to you. Androgen being testosterone therapy, right? So it's bipolar testosterone therapy. As you know, the standard of care is to remove testosterone from us, right? But genomically, what happens over time is that when you remove testosterone, the cancer evolves and morphs and mutates to a more lethal state. Sometimes the whole phenotype of the cancer changes and then you die, right? So one of the things that it does on this path to this bad state is it acquires all of these testosterone receptors, okay? These androgen receptors. And the reason why the cancer just the prostate cancer adds all excessive amounts of androgen receptors is because it needs to survive in a low testosterone environment. If you don't have very much testosterone floating around, you got to have all these mouths on the prostate cancer so it can try to eat and scoop up any testosterone that it can find, right? So excessive amounts of androgen receptor and being an advanced cancer patient is actually what you want to have if you want to get a good response out of BAT. And I discovered this by going through the literature and the patient guide that they have. And I knew in my genomics that I have excessive amounts of androgen receptor. I can just tell. It's called AR copy number gain. You can see it on a Foundation Medicine or a Tempest test. So, and I also have another alteration that just makes me really synergistic for this. So I asked my doctor to reach out to Johns Hopkins and see if we could get the protocol. And she did, and I started this in April. And here, this is crazy. So I had a really high PSA. I was up to 307, and it was doubling like every month, right? So in April, I'm at 307. I start the BAT therapy. And after the first cycle, my PSA drops from 307 to 5. 307 to 5, okay? After the second cycle, it goes from 5 to 1.5. We do imaging, right? Like a PSMA PET scan, and you compare before and after, and you can see that the cancer is like erasing off of my body. So it's just insane. And then if you look at the genomics of my cancer post-therapy, right, you can see that these genomic alterations that I had, like AR copy number gain and other things that are associated with a more aggressive advanced cancer, they're going away. I don't even have them anymore. So I'm resetting the clock on my prostate cancer, essentially. So why am I telling you this? Because anytime something kind of revolutionary happens out there, there's gonna be obstacles, and we need the industry to come together to really accelerate this for guys like us. So, my first message is to the patient advocacy groups out there. Please help, right? Get the word out. We need your help because pharma is not going to get behind this. There are no profits to be made with an old drug like testosterone. It's not a new drug, right? So there's no incentive for them to be pushing it. So you're not going to hear about this from the pharmaceutical industry. So we need the patient advocacy groups to be promoting this. For providers and oncologists out there, Johns Hopkins feels that probably 35% of advanced prostate cancer patients who have excessive amounts of AR are going to respond well to this, okay? So if 34,000 Americans die of this disease every year, 35% is 12,000 guys that may not die if we could give them access to something like this. And it's dirt cheap. It's like $50, right? Testosterone costs like $50, $50 to $100 a cycle. You're not going to find a drug that's that cheap, that's this effective. And that message should be loud and clear for the insurance companies out there that like this drug is super affordable, and the quality of life for patients that take it. I mean, my goodness, what guy wouldn't want additional testosterone, right? My quality of life is just off the charts. My energy is back. I don't have fatigue. My muscle mass is increasing. My weight is gained. I've gained weight. Sexual function is better. Even little things like urinary incontinence that comes from having your prostate removed, right? Like those muscles have strengthened up. So I don't even have urinary incontinence issues anymore. So, and then again, pharma. I know you're not going to get excited about testosterone, but if patients get their clock resetted and they become sensitized to the second generation anti-androgen drugs, again, like enzalutamide or darolutamide or apalutamide, you resensitize them so you could sell the drugs to them again. And, you could work with the Foundation Medicines of the world and the Tempests of the world to create a companion diagnostic. So when you see patients that have AR copy number gain or something else that's associated with having excessive androgen receptors, then you could prescribe that followed by second generation anti-androgen drugs. And you could probably get a longer period of time where patients would get response to those. So anyway, I wanted to share this with you. I hope other advanced prostate cancer patients can get access to this and that you can get hopefully a good response. You may not get the same response as I did, but come on, getting some response is better than nothing. And we all need drugs that are going to help us. So best of luck to you out there. And you can hit me up at sequenceme.org. And thanks again.